I believe in yesterday. Yesterday came suddenly. Let's look at Paris is Burning.
Reading came first.
From 1990.
Reading
came first.
The real art form.
It's the real art form.
You want to talk about reading? Let's talk about reading. What is wrong with you, Pedro? Are you going through it? You're going through some kind of psychological change in your life?
She went back to be a man.
Oh, you went back to being a man. Touch the skin, darling.
Now they're showing you some proper reading, but you know, today's big deal is no match for yesterday.
You get in a smart crack, and everyone laughs and kikis because you found a flaw and exaggerated it. Then you've got a good read going.
You've got a good read going. Now, isn't that beautiful? You've got a good read going. So how come people don't understand? Yesterday came suddenly. Now, the reason why I love that song is that when I was 5 years old, I loved that song by the Beatles, Yesterday. And isn't it funny that I was only 5, 6 years old? Like, what did I know about yesterday? And yet that song moved me so much. Like, Yesterday by the Beatles, I was so into it. And I didn't even have a fucking yesterday at 5 years old. But wow, did I ever love that song. So what does that mean? Yesterday comes suddenly. I was also very obsessed with the end of the world because my older siblings used to scare me about the big earthquake that was going to come and finish the world. And every day I came home from school, I saw a graffiti that said, "The end is near." And the two words, "the" and "end," were very close together, so it looked like "fiend is near." But anyway, it made me read it very carefully every day for about 4 or 5 years, every day walking home from school. So I was always obsessed with the end of the world to begin with. And then, of course, I became a born-again Christian because my mother forced me to, so that was another chapter 2 of the end of the world coming. Now, can I also say that besides the end of the world, I love Paris is Burning. I went back 40 years later to see if that graffiti was there, and it was. Very faded, but it said 40 years later that the end is near. So is the end always near? Is the end always right there? Or maybe right in front of you? I can't believe I wasted my whole life worrying about tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes. It's just yesterday that keeps coming suddenly. So I would like to see the clash of the Titans or the clash of the Boomers because they got the good bones. They all have good bones. They all had better food than we all did. So they're the ones with the good bones. And I'd like to get some popcorn and sit back and watch the Boomers and the Busters. Because we can all agree that the good days are gone. Like as far as, like look at this understated woman, how she's talking in a very subdued, dulcet tone. We don't have that anymore. So now I gotta shout and yell and be loud and obnoxious. I mean, just to not drown in today's boring and stupid and yet violent and vicious culture. And yet they're smiling. At least this lady here, she ain't smiling, but I don't feel scared of her. But she doesn't have this big ugly grin on her face. And she doesn't scare me one bit. Even though later I found out that she probably had a dead body in this apartment here. But she doesn't scare me at all. So go figure. Over 30 years old. So, and this one too, she died right during the filming of this movie. During the filming of Paris is Burning 1990. So you're not really an artist, you know. I'm sorry to say that, and I like her.